Hello, I am Amelia Bridges, and I am from Heston, Kansas. I teach here at Heston High School, and I am a social studies teacher, and I teach government, AP government, and world geography. I also am the assistant men's and women's tennis coach in the fall and then in the spring, and I am also the student council sponsor up at the high school, and I also serve as the facilitator of both psychology and sociology through Hutch Community College um, at Heston. I have been teaching, I just completed my third year teaching, and all of those years have been in Heston. Um, I went to college at Bethany College. There I studied education and got a minor in religion, and I graduated in 2016. Um, some personal goals that I have um, in the next 5 years or so, of course, is to finish and obtain my degree in administration. Um, I also am probably going to be making a change in the current position that I hold. Um, I'm not sure 100% if that will be straight from teaching to being an administrator, or if I'll get another job teaching between now and the time that I become an administrator. Um, but within those 5 years, I think that that administration job is obtainable. I think ideally I would prefer to start out as like a vice principal in a place. Um, in the next 6 to 10 years, I do plan to finish up my time for sure as a teacher and a coach and move towards that administrative role. I'm not quite ready to make an initial shift. I think I need to spend more time um, in my career as a teacher. I'm not quite ready to leave the classroom. It's still pretty fresh for me, and I learn more and more all the time. And so I don't want to rush um, that feeling of wanting to make that transition. I don't want to force that. Um, but beyond 10 years from now, I would love to teach at the collegiate level, potentially after being an administrator. Eventually, I see myself having a lifetime career in education, but I do see that position changing with time. I do think I will serve as an administrator at some point. And then I would love to eventually write a book, hopefully on education, because I become more and more enthralled and invested in education as I go. And then eventually I would like to hold and run for a political office, and to what extent that is, I'm not really sure at this point. Some personal goals that I have is in the next 5 years is to hopefully commit to a community or a district for a fairly substantial amount of time, maybe not forever, but commit to an area. I would also like to start a family in the next 5 years. I would like to be debt-free, and I would like to continue to travel, and I would like to start a podcast. In the next 6 to 10 years, I would like to buy a home and start continuing to grow a family and continue being a professional, working and doing those things as well. And then beyond 10 years from now, personally, I want to raise children. I want to retire in education, and I want to travel the world as much as I can. Why did I choose Fort Hays? I chose Fort Hays because I had some friends who had went through this program, and they spoke very highly of it. And when I was looking, I was asking around, and I got their opinions, and they spoke highly of it, and they had good things to say about it. And so after looking around, I knew that this was going to be a good fit for me. Also, I'm from Northwest Kansas, and so I have a certain allegiance to the area, and to Fort Hays has always been a part of my life, and since it's been in the area, and so I'm proud to be a Tiger. What were my initial expectations for this program? Truly, I'm not really sure what I all expected. I went back and forth a lot as far as what I even wanted to get my master's in. I knew that I wanted to do that, and I knew I wanted to do that early on in my teaching career. And I didn't know if I wanted to do more of like a content focus or maybe even a counselor position. But after I'd looked into it, I just felt like building leadership was the best fit for me. I mostly really liked the opportunity for the growth that it offered. It just gave me more options in the future, even if I wasn't really sure. Still, I'm not really sure what those might look like. But I really liked that idea of just opportunities and windows for growth to happen with obtaining this degree. Also, I was with what to expect with the program. I knew it wasn't a whole 100% online, and I just didn't really know what that was going to look like, what the time commitment was going to look like, how I was going to interact with professors, with classmates, would I really get a whole lot out of it? I just didn't really know what to expect, and truly, I just didn't really know what, an administrator's position truly looks like. But I did really expect to figure out that if building leadership in education was something that I was called to do, and to see if it was something that I could see myself doing and see if I was fit for it. And that was my biggest expectation, was to understand where I fit with building leadership, and could I see myself in that role in the future.